Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool things to go over. A new Mythical Pokemon event has been announced. We also have some new rumors regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 and then a few other bits and bobs to go over as well. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's go over this new Mythical Pokemon event. We have Pokeexperto here tweeting out, saying the official Pokemon website in Japan has announced a new mystery gift code distribution event to obtain a mystery gift Pokemon and items. To do so, you will need to purchase certain Pokemon products in Japan. The campaign will take place in winter. More details later. So obviously this is at the moment just exclusively for Japan, but it looks like it's going to be available for quite a few people as well, as Jan explains here. So I'm seeing some people having some very weird expectations on this Scrap Mythical Pokemon giveaway event. So this is the third time they've done this event, and I did participate both times in the past. And then allow me to explain how it works. So as previously mentioned, this event is done by purchasing Japanese Pokemon merchandise. In certain merchandise during the event, they will include code cards that gives you 1 to 4 points, collect up to a certain amount, and then you can redeem mythical Pokemon. So these mythical Pokemon were featured in the previous events. So Auras, we got Shaymin, Keldeo, and Victini. In Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, we got Manaphy, Meloetta, and Hooper. And then in Pokemon Sword and Shield, we got Genesect, Volcanion, and Marshadow. And then this time in Scarlet and Violet, it's the 4th mythical Pokemon giveaway like this. They then go on to say it's not clear enough. It's obvious that they don't feature mythical Pokemon of the current generation. So for obvious reasons, since these Pokemon were just recently given away already. If I want to guess, I believe Zarude has a good chance to be in this. Then they go on to say, as mentioned, you can only participate this event by purchasing Japanese products, as this is a Japanese only event. But then they go on to say, for my Western friends, no need to worry about missing out. They usually do stuff like GameStop giveaways for these mythical Pokemon in the West. So even though it's at the moment only been announced for Japan, they probably will, just like they have done in the past, when this Japanese event kind of goes live, they also then allow people in the West to get the same kind of Pokemon through GameStop and other kind of means. So, like I say, don't worry, it should be available worldwide. It's just at the moment, this Japan event is only, it's only going to be available in Japan at the moment, but it should, just like the others, be available worldwide in some way, shape, or form. You know, as mentioned, they did Genesect, Volcanion, and Marshadow for this event in Japan during Generation 8. And then if you are some Western players who did follow mythical Pokemon events around that time, surely you will remember these 3 were also given away in GameStop or some other stores. So, like I say, in Generation 8, these 3 mythicals were given away during this Japanese event. But then, as well as that, later on, they were also given away during GameStop events or other stores and stuff like that. So, like I say, even though it is just Japan exclusive at the moment, it should be available for everyone. We don't know what the mythical Pokemon are going to be. Like I say, they usually do them in 3. So obviously they've done Shaymin, Keldeo, Victini, did Manaphy, Meloetta, Hooper, Genesect, Volcanion, Marshadow. So it's probably going to be Zarude, and then 2 other mythicals as well. There might be another Generation 6 mythical because of like Pokemon Legends EA coming out, and they're going to be available most likely in Legends EA, just like the mythicals were the Generation 4 mythicals were available in Pokemon Legends Arceus. So that would be my guess. So yeah, Zarude, maybe a Generation 6 mythical, and then, I don't know, maybe another Generation 6 mythical, I don't really know. But either way, exciting times. Obviously, the 30th anniversary is coming up. We're all hoping they do something very similar to what they did for the 20th anniversary, where they kind of gave away a mythical Pokemon like every month. A really cool event. A lot of people missed out on it, though, because it was, you know, a decade ago nearly. So hopefully they do something similar to that and make a couple of them shiny as well, so we can finally get like a shiny Meloetta and shiny Victini and stuff like that. But either way, that's the mythical mythical Pokemon event happening. I will let you guys know when we get more information, because like I say, with Pokeexperto, it says like more details to come later and stuff. So like I say, I'll let you guys know when we get more stuff. Moving on, we have some new posts from Riddler-Ku. This isn't really anything to do with Pokemon Legends EA or anything like that, but I just wanted to go over it because he's saying that these things are going to happen, and then if he's correct, it kind of just helps solidify that he still has a source of some way, shape, or form. So he has, we have Riddler-Ku here saying, special animation to celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival soon on 9/14 by the Pokemon Company Shanghai. So on the 14th of September, so that's, in a couple of days, we are going to get this event. Like I say, it's what he's saying. If this is true, we don't have to wait too many days. It just helps kind of solidify that, yeah, he does still have some sort of source. And obviously, what he has been saying is that we are going to get Legends EA news and stuff this year. We went over that recently in that big kind of like collage image that we covered about Riddler-Coup. And, you know, if he's right about this, then he's probably right about that. He's also saying this as well, saying, you know, the merchandise of this short animation will be in the official Pokemon store on the same day. So all this merchandise, I don't know where he's got this image from, but I'm assuming it's something related to this or whatever. But either way, I'm only covering this because if this is true, again, it helps the other things that he say. The other things that he said recently, I guess, look a little bit more realistic. We'll obviously have to wait and see. But yeah, that's just Riddler-Coup talking about some more stuff. Like I say, it's nothing to do with Legends EA. But either way, moving on, for Pokemon Go, we do have a new code that you can put in to get some max particles. We have Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, a code has been given by Pokemon Go to give all players 250 max particles. Again, it's pretty easy to get max particles in this game when you go to a, you know, a stop like a Dynamax kind of den, whatever. You get the max particles anyway, but if you want 250 free ones, then this is the code. So it's LJRAMRU3RYCMC. So you put that in, you get 250 max particles. I've already done it. It does still work. So yeah, if you want them, that's the code you put in. So that's the Pokemon Go stuff. That's the Riddler-Coup stuff. That's the Mythical Pokemon event stuff. Moving on, I wanted to go over this rumor here. So this is a new Nintendo Switch 2 rumor. They've also got an image as well, and then that's also accompanied with some text as well, which also has some Pokemon information as well. So this is what they posted. So this is the image. It's known as the Nintendo Switch Plus. And I personally think it looks terrible. I don't know how they've made it. I don't believe this is true at all. The dock looks worse. The actual console itself looks worse. Like what even is it? Like, it just doesn't look great. Like, it looks like, I don't know, like they've 3D printed it or something. It just doesn't, like, if I was envisioning the Switch 2, this is not what I would think of at all. Like, the dock itself just doesn't look great. I don't really understand. Like, they've got like a little light on it here. It says Nintendo Switch Plus. It's the exact same Switch kind of logo, the exact same Switch kind of text. So yeah, they're obviously going to keep that because, as they have done in the past with like Nintendo consoles and also like PlayStation do that and stuff. But at the same time, Switch Plus, I don't know. I feel like that'd be a little bit more confusing. I think that's, if I was gonna make like a kind of Nintendo Switch, I guess, a version that's a little bit better, a little bit like the OLED, I'd call it the Plus. I wouldn't call it the Plus for like the next console down the line. And like I say, the Joy Pads and the Joy Sticks or whatever, they all look very, very, very similar to the Nintendo Switch. So I don't think this is true at all. I don't want this to be true. If like they revealed this, I'd be a little bit disappointed. But either way, that's the image that it's come with. I don't know. It's not been taken in like an office or anything. I don't think this very much looks like just, I don't know, somebody's house. They've got like a kind of wooden cabinet or whatever here, and this is just, I don't know, a wall in the background, but it doesn't really give office vibes or anything. So I don't know how they would have this. Maybe they work at, you know, this manufacturing company, they've stolen it, and then they've obviously took this picture. But either way, this is the information that kind of comes with it. So this was posted on the 11th of September, and it's just titled Switch Plus General Information Plus Pokemon. I don't know why they randomly dropped Pokemon information as well. This was obviously on 4chan, but it wasn't on the Pokemon section of 4chan. It was on the like Nintendo section of 4chan. But either way, still take it with a grain of salt. We have an image with it, but it doesn't really do it any justice. But this is the general information about the Nintendo Switch Plus, and then obviously we have Pokemon stuff as well. So it's called the Nintendo Switch Plus. Again, not a massive fan of that name. And again, if the image looked a little bit better, I would be more convinced. But it just doesn't look like the next console, in my opinion. Backwards compatibility with original Switch games. So, I mean, that's just kind of a given anyway. We're expecting that to be the case. A lot of insiders have said that's going to happen. A lot of leakers have said that's going to happen. And as well as that, Nintendo themselves have said they're carrying over like Nintendo accounts and stuff, which obviously has all our data from the Switch. So all those games you'd like to think are going to be playable on the Switch 2 regardless. And like I say, we've had backwards compatibility with a lot of Nintendo consoles in the past. You know, like the Wii being able to play like GameCube games, the 3DS being able to play DS games, the Game Boy Advance being able to play, you know, Game Boy games, stuff like that. We've had backwards compatibility quite a lot in the past, so I expect the exact same situation to be here. There will be an official reveal in October, so we are expecting the reveal either this month or October. insiders are like going at each other, not really going at each other, but some are saying, oh, it's got to be this month, and then some are saying it's definitely not this month, it's next month. I think we can all agree that it's gonna be over the next couple of months. We just don't know which. Obviously, we're kind of nearly halfway through September now, so hopefully we get the reveal as soon as possible. But I mean, waiting until October is not the worst thing. It's just, are they also going to drop Legends EA stuff with it as well? I think that's what we're kind of also waiting for, because, you know, if they're not going to drop it with the Switch 2, when are they going to drop Legends EA stuff? So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we get presents, who knows? But either way, it's apparently going to get an official reveal in October. The current plans for the release is June 2025, and I think this is a bit of a red flag, because obviously the Switch 1 was revealed in like October and then came out in like March or something, and Nintendo themselves have said, you know, they don't think that the gap between the announcement and the actual release is going to be that long, and it's definitely not going to be longer than the Switch 1. So, you know, according to this, it would be longer than the Switch 1. You know, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. You know, that's a lot of months between the announcement and the release. I'd be expecting it to be releasing around like March, April time, really. I don't think it'd be going until June 2025. So that, for me, is a bit of a red flag. And then it also says there's going to be a new Street Pass-esque feature. So that could be something that we get anyway. But again, it's not something that I'm personally that excited about. I never really have done Street Pass and stuff in the past, but if people are excited about it, apparently it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch Plus. So that's the general information about the console. Moving on, we also have some information about Pokemon as well. And again, I don't know why they just randomly picked Pokemon, but they say Pokemon. So Generation 10 is being worked on and has been since 2022. So yeah, I mean, Generation 10 has been being worked on for a while. I don't know if it's going to have been as early as 2022, potentially, because it is coming out in 2026. So that's going to be like 4 years of dev time, which is a decent amount. It's a decent amount for Gen 10. I mean, I've got high hopes for Generation 10 anyway. It's going to be on the new console. I feel like I'd like to think they've taken all the feedback from Generation 9 and are going to use that in a positive way. I'm not expecting any lag. I'm not expecting any frame drops. I'm not expecting anything like that. If there is on the new console, then something is clearly wrong. I just feel like the Switch is just not capable to be able to run Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at all. Because if you play it on like PC on an emulator, it runs absolutely fine. Like, it runs flawlessly. It's just the Switch isn't good enough to be able to run it. But obviously the Switch 2, or whatever it's going to be called, is going to be so much better, like in terms of power and just everything. And I'm expecting that the Generation 10 is going to run, I'd like to think, flawlessly on that console. But either way, it's going to apparently have been worked on since 2022. It'll only be playable on the Plus. It's not going to be on the original Switch. And again, I don't feel like you need to be a genius to realize that Generation 9, as I've just said, ran really, really badly on the Nintendo Switch. Are they really going to bring out Generation 10, which is going to demand more kind of like power and everything to run? Are they really going to play that on the Switch? It's going to be even worse. Like, the frames drops are going to be awful. There's no way. I think Legends EA is going to be the last game for the Switch. Also playable on the Switch 2 via backwards compatibility. And then I think that's it. I don't think we're going to get another game next year. I hope we do. I would love to get like Generation 5 remakes next year as well. I just don't think it's going to be the case. And yeah, so Legends EA, last game on the Switch, and then Generation 10 on the Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026. Goes on to say Legends EA will be backwards compatible with the Plus. It is not a launch title. It is part of the original Switch lineup, which, again, that's exactly what I've been saying this whole time. A lot of people think it's going to be a launch title. I don't understand why people are thinking this. Some people are still saying it's not going to be for the Switch, and I'm like, it's already been announced for the Switch. They've said it already. It's going to be playable on Nintendo Switch systems. When they're talking about systems, they're talking about OLED, Nintendo Switch Lite, everything like that. That's what they're referencing there. It is going to be playable on the Switch 2 if we do get backwards compatible, but it's not going to be made for the Switch 2. If it was made for the Switch 2, it'd run really badly on the Switch, because it would need all these kind of things that the original Nintendo Switch does not have. So yeah, it's just not, it's not going to be made for the Switch 2. We might get a trailer for it with the Switch 2 announcement, but that's just going to be because it's playable on the Switch 2. And it might show, like, they might use ZA as a I guess a bit of a example for backwards compatibility. They might be like, here's ZA for the Switch, here's ZA on the Switch 2, and it's obviously going to run better and stuff like that. A little bit how like the PS Pro kind of did with they showed like Last of Us on the PlayStation 5, and then they showed Last of Us on the PlayStation 5 whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's even called off the top of my head. But yeah, that they did like a side-by-side comparison. So they could do that with ZA. You know, they could show gameplay on the Switch and then gameplay on the Switch too. There's currently a new mystery dungeon being developed for the Plus. It is a launch title, so that would be very, very interesting. Because if the Switch 2 does come out like 2025, which we're all expecting, we won't necessarily have a Pokemon 2025 game for the Switch 2, and I think a Mystery Dungeon, like a spin-off game, would be a really cool launch title for it. Obviously, we had Pokken for the Nintendo Switch, which was obviously a spin-off game, and then we got Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee for it, so yeah, maybe a spin-off Mystery Dungeon would be kind of cool to see, but I wouldn't be expecting it, but I'd definitely be down for it. And it says, that's all for now, and they're saying, you know, to screen cap it, so I mean, personally, I just don't think it's true. The image itself looks absolutely woeful, and as well as that, I just don't think the timelines really kind of link up too well. Like, June 2025 is a little bit too late, in my opinion, because that means that we'd probably get, like, another Nintendo Direct for the Nintendo Switch, and I just don't think that's going to happen either. I think everything they've revealed now is just, that's it. You know, the next Nintendo Direct we do get is going to be for the Switch 2, and then it's only going to be Switch 2 stuff. And then the Pokemon stuff, I mean, a lot of it is just reiterating what we already really know. Like, Gen 10's obviously being worked on. It's going to be playable on the next console. ZA is going to be backwards compatible. It's not a launch title. That's all stuff we already know. I mean, obviously, Mystery Dungeon being a launch title is something new. But either way, I'm calling fake on this. I don't think it's true at all. But let me know your thoughts on this rumor there, and then also let me know your thoughts on everything else. As soon as we hear more about this Mythical Pokemon event, I will keep you guys updated, and then obviously we'll see if Riddler-Ku is right about this stuff, and then obviously make sure to redeem this code as well. But that's everything from me. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500. Leave a comment with your thoughts. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.